All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. My name is 12 Gage. This is my second time around today. I'm a little more energized than I was earlier. Earlier, I don't know what was going on with me. But tonight we have a very special show for you. We're going to be talking about addiction. And I have a guest that is almost a co-host, I guess. She's on here quite a bit. But we have warning label Nina here, so let me bring her up. What's going on?
Well, you know that we are co-hosts.
Close to it. How are you
I
doing?
wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be co-host with anybody else.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How's life?
Oh, don't go there.
Okay.
I'm still sitting.
So tonight I want to talk about addiction. Remember the other night we were
Yep,
discussing that we should get a live going? I thought Friday night, what a better time to do it, right?
that's absolutely correct.
I found
Especially since I had my rant today.
tell me a little bit about it.
I
It
guess
kept
it
cutting
really
off.
wasn't.
It
It
kept
really
cutting
wasn't a
off.
rant. I didn't mean for it to be a rant. It's just I don't know. And look, I want everybody to understand. This is no disrespect to Mr. Kirk, his wife, his kids, the loss, the condolences, everything. Okay. My condolences to anybody that loses a family member. Okay. Or a friend. Anybody that loses anyone. So this is in no way a dig against him or anything. I really don't know that much about him. I don't really do politics anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. But today on YouTube, it was Coburger Kirk, Coburger Kirk, Coburger Kirk. And so I sit there and I was like, 48 hours, because he's been, at the time that I did it, he had been dead 48 hours.
Right,
And I
right,
sit there and I thought, 48 hours, that's 2,880 minutes divided by 11. 262 people died. Where's
right.
that at? Where is it? Where, where's all that coverage? I mean, don't get me wrong. I have spent just as much time on the Koberger case as the next person. Okay. But it's over. He doesn't want to be fought for. He's where he wants to be. He's in
Yeah.
infamy. He's waiting on his next book. He's waiting on his next interview. He's waiting on him to cut his brain open and see what made him tick. You know, I mean, so the people that are fighting for him, he didn't he didn't ask you to fight for him. He's not fighting for himself.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And then I mean, don't get me wrong, Mr. Kirk getting killed, that was terrible. That the way it was done, the humiliating way it was done, the public way it was done, totally, totally, I am not disrespecting that at all. And you heard what happened at Idaho State Capitol. Some idiot decides he wants to drive into a vigil that they're having and start screaming F Kirk. Well, they
Right.
drug him out of his car and beat his ass,
As they
and
should,
people are
as
like,
they should have.
exactly. People are like, I can't believe 12 people jumped on him. I can't believe an idiot drove through a vigil.
Yeah,
Somebody needed to beat his ass because his mama show didn't.
that's true. Well, thank you for being able to get that off your chest. You know,
Like I said, it's not a rant. It's just, okay, going into the politics, tipping my toe in it. What are politicians doing for overdose prevention? What are politicians doing for suicide prevention? No, it's all about black lives and LGBTQ and trans lives, and I'm not disrespecting any of that. But what about the 262 people that have died in 48 hours? What about the kids that have seen their parents die? What about the wives that have seen their husbands die in the last 48 hours?
These are
It's all
good
yours.
questions. These are good questions. Good questions. Well, let's see what these two individuals are all about. This is from the page. Let's see. Let's see what the page is called. Other Side. He's a good presenter with the stories of people and their stories. So let's see what these guys have to say. And we're going to be talking about addiction tonight. So if you're hoping that we start on Idaho 4, it's not happening. So save yourself, go to some other channel that's talking about it. There are probably plenty that are on right now still debating it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something of importance, not something that has already been beat to death. And here we go.
Hey, Dirty, can you tell us where we're at right now?
We are in. This is called the Dirty Tree of Love.
Trio.
Where I bring my bottom bitches, uh, like Chris here and all the other side boys. Hey, Augie. Hey, girl. Augie. What sense is this? Yeah, we can't listen to everything this guy says. You can listen, you just can't hear it. But like,
You can listen, just don't believe it.
that's right. That's right. Want to listen. Like you got that Kool-Aid. Even though it's called Kool-Aid, AIDS ain't cool, y'all.
So that is a speedball there.
Yeah. Yeah. I want you to see this wrong, bro.
And for people that are ignorant to the fact, a speedball is heroin. And what the other one, Nina?
Meth.
Or you can use cocaine as well, right? Any kind of stimulant.
Yeah,
But
because it's upper
yeah,
and downer together.
yeah. So that's what they're doing. And Chris said they got a drug treehouse. True. Okay. Here we go.
Can you talk about the immediate feeling?
Immediate feeling. It really, it really helps if Chris jerks me off while I talk about the immediate feeling. It enhances the effect. Go ahead, Chris.
The immediate feeling is total fucking bliss.
Euphoria.
It's a euphoria that I really can't explain.
It's
But
awesome. It's awesome. It's because it's mixing an upper and a downer at the same time. So it's like the problem with upper is the short-lived effect and the crash from it, but you don't feel that when you have a speedball because you have the mellow landing of the fentanyl, which is opiate, the downer. So you get the euphoria of the sharp high of the speed with the mellow euphoria.
Well, obviously they're using fentanyl now. They used to use heroin. Same type
Well, the
of
sad thing, yeah, the sad thing about it though is they're now doubling their chances of fent overdose,
right, exactly.
of getting bad vent, a bad batch,
Yeah,
because
bad bad.
now instead of just using one, they're using two drugs.
Right, exactly. And they're also, for those of you that don't know, fentanyl is a derivative of morphine, I believe. And it is probably 50 times stronger than morphine, so it doesn't take as much to go into the opiate receptors and start shutting stuff down. That's why people get a bad batch or too much and it just turns your body off. Hey,
Now,
Kels, what's
Gage,
up? Go ahead. I was going to say hello to Kels.
no, go ahead.
Hey, Kels, we're
But
talking about addiction tonight. Go ahead, Nina.
if I'm not mistaken, the street drug for fent is carfentanil, right? The man-made, not the
Nina, I can't even fake that I know at this point because I'm so out of the loop regarding the addiction stuff because
Okay,
I've been
well,
switching over.
fentanyl, is used in the hospitals. It's a totally
Right,
legal prescription drug. But
right.
what they're using on the streets is called carfentanil. It's
Car-
Carfen, and I mean, it's like 100 times stronger than regular fent.
Okay. Well, I
And
mean, I'm not
so,
totally out of the loop, but what I'm saying is, as far as fentanyl, it's it's been a deal on the streets for what, at least 4 years, right
oh
after
yeah, at
COVID.
least because let's see, the Kansas City Three that
Yeah,
happened what 2 years ago,
yeah.
and that's what got them.
And for individuals that don't understand why people shoot up, they shoot up because it instantly hits the bloodstream. There's no wait. If you smoke it, it has to go through the lungs, it has to get into the bloodstream, and it takes just a little longer. If you snort it, same kind of effect. You eat it, same effect. You have to digest, get into the bloodstream, but you shoot it, it's almost instantaneous. You can see these guys, you can see them. They just shot up and, you know,
The closest that they can come to a needle is using a syringe without a needle. Love my dogs.
he cut you
Is
out. What did
using
you say?
okay. So, hang on. Go ahead, Gage.
Well, let's listen to some more of this while Nina gets with her dog.
Where no crash of the crack cocaine because of the
At the same
fentanyl.
time.
Yeah, same time. So
And when we were talking before, you said you're starting to feel dope sick a little bit.
Yeah.
So can you talk about a change from then to now?
Then and now is okay.
I think that's the even better feeling than the high of a speedball, in my personal opinion. Going from feeling like death and the most miserable feeling in the world to feeling like literally in a snap of a finger, like everything is cured. It's the most amazing feeling in the world. It's like being touched by God.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I like the way.
Well, the dope sick is basically when your body starts to physically crave the drug that you've been injecting into your body, snorting, smoking, eating, and withdrawal symptoms come not long after. I mean, they call it Jones and they call it whatever. But withdrawals is what they're talking about being dope sick. Your body starts having, if you have had any food, any liquid, it starts dispelling all this stuff. And, it's not a good thing. Are you
And
back,
if you'll
Nina?
notice, do you remember one of the Koberger pictures where she's standing in front of the cougar statue and he's got like that sweaty look? Did you see the guy on the left? Look at him. He's got that. He's not sweating, but he's got that sweaty look.
Yeah. It's like that clammy look, like your
Yes,
skin is clammy. Yeah.
yes, yes.
And Koberger did look like this guy. Did he not? Without the
Yeah, but
tattoos? I mean,
if you'll go back about 10 seconds and look at the guy on the left, his face is all shiny like Koberger's was.
yeah. This guy is already, look at his eyeballs.
Yeah, he's already geeked out.
Yeah.
I like to
God.
wake up dosey. I
I
like to
mean,
wake
he's
up
totally
dosey. But
geeking.
when I gotta wake up, because yeah, what he's saying was
It's the
that
most amazing feeling in the world.
there's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it. I'm gonna tell you, man. I've done just about every drug, and I've turned down the
Look at him
finest,
eyes.
baddest piece of pussy for a speedball.
It's like being. It's like if, just to know, like there was a light
See that
switch that
clammy
would cure
look?
your.
And that's why I was telling people, and I don't really want to get into the Koberger case, but
Right,
think about this. Think about this. The eyeballs. Look at their eyeballs, and look at some of the
right.
pictures that we were looking at the other day. his eyeballs were as big as these guys right here. So you can't tell me that the dude did not relapse on something.
And it's funny because I've said the whole time, no, he didn't, he didn't, he didn't, and I believe now he did.
Yeah, I believe it too. Especially with his eyeballs popping out of his head more than normal. Like when you were seeing him dressed up, like getting ready to go to class, his eyeballs were not popping out like they were late in the evening when he was taking those other pictures.
Exactly.
I mean, one more thing before we quit talk. I mean, we're going to talk about it periodically because it does coexist with the addiction on that part. But think about this too. If you're using a stimulant, most people that do methamphetamine, they have, the middle-aged men that do this, they have jack shacks. You know what I mean? Where they have a shack set up and they have, their TV and their movies and their internet of exactly what Koberger was searching. Use your imagination. I don't want to really talk about all that, but think about what a jack shack is.
fatal cancer. And so, like, just imagine how good that would feel to flip that light switch, and immediately your fatal cancer is cured, or your mom's fatal cancer is cured as fast as a light switch. Imagine how fucking amazing that would feel. It's literally spiritual.
If everybody in the world did a speedball, we have a world full of junkies.
Especially when they were sick, when they're dope sick, get doing speedball because being cured of the most miserable feeling immediately is what's like so spiritual about it.
But then it kind of creates like a pattern of chaos, though.
It does just because when you can like feel like you've been touched by a fucking higher than human entity, who that won't chase that feeling?
Hey, you gotta realize it like this, right? It feels so good when you do a drug that makes you feel like that. There's a catch to everything.
It's like a
There's
catch
gonna be
23.
there's gonna be a consequence. If you gotta do a drug that quick, there's gonna be a consequence. So the physical addiction of the opiate is a consequence. Um, when people ask me how does that feel, you know what I tell them? I said, don't do it because you'll like it. Once you do it, it's over with, man.
Have you ever known anyone to do like heroin or fentanyl just once?
One time in
And
Yeah,
one
tons
and
of them
done?
because they killed them.
People who didn't die?
I've I've never seen a person do it once and not want it again.
Of course, they don't want it again, but
They don't
yeah,
just like do it right off. They might wait a week. Oh, I want to try that again.
it might be years later, but not. I can't personally think of anybody I know that's ever done it and then never in their life revisited.
Not do it again.
And
Man,
and can you talk about like what you were your thoughts were like when we were waiting for Dirty? Like what you were thinking about versus what you're thinking about now that you've got your fix.
How antsy you were waiting for me to get there.
I was pretty antsy.
But were you thinking of anything other than the drug?
Yeah, I was. I was thinking about the Martians. They got this Fendi purse.
You were thinking about stealing to get money for doing this people,
You
which
know,
is kind of what junk.
Look at them eyeballs, Nina. Look at those eyeballs.
Man, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't tell me that, those pictures we were watching the other night didn't have eyeballs like that.
And what people don't understand is that's probably not what he looks like.
No,
I mean,
no. I
because
mean,
when you come off the drugs, you get your color back. You get, you're not as gaunt, or is that what it's called? Gaunt.
yeah.
That your face, I mean, I know Marty one time, me and Marty had a big fight and I left and I was gone for about a week after walking 9 miles down New Jersey Pike. But anyway, she came back and she was like, "You look emaciated." And I was like, "Oh my God." I mean, and that's exactly what it does. And I mean, I look nothing like what I did when I was geeked out. And the thing
Right.
about it is, I thought I looked good
Of course. Of course. Many
because
people
I had
do.
lost all that. I had lost all that weight. I didn't have all that weight on me, and I could wear what I wanted to. And, but of course, I can't look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I look terrible. I need to get off the meth. I mean,
Right. I mean, they probably think they look good. They're obviously not
right.
wearing shirts because they're sweating their ass off.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the
But,
one thing
it's
about
really sad. It's really sad the age that it puts on you.
yeah, you know, there's a lot of rock stars that have died doing speedballs. I think John or James Belushi died of a speedball. I think
Yeah, I
Chris,
mean,
Chris Farley died of one. Um,
what's the female
there's
singer?
Janis Joplin.
Uh, yes,
There's
she's
a
the
lot
first
of
one that
them.
comes to. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of them that have OD'd on speedballs, and what they do, I mean, on the street they call it a hot rail. They give you a hot shot. That means that they put more than you can handle, and that'll be your last ever shooting up. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna
and that's
kill
the
you.
thing about it is, talking about the superstars and stuff like that, especially the ones that do concerts. Not as much the actors and stuff, but the performers, the live performers. They have to have something to make them go up to get out there and perform,
Right?
and then they have to have something to make them go to sleep. And so that's how they get into the speedballing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do speedballing in other ways. I mean, they don't call it speedballing because it's like if you're using meth and then you're smoking weed, I mean, it's like almost the same thing. You get
Yep.
too high, you got to come down, but your body is in constant up and down, up and down, up and down. So whenever you get off the chemicals, you've already changed the way your body reacts to these chemicals. So it programs it to be almost in a bipolar state. These individuals off
Yes.
of drugs, they're up and down, up and down. Their moods are up and down. They'll be angry one moment, crying in the next. It's like a cycle. And you think,
And
man,
see,
these
that's the
people,
reason I've never tried ecstasy, is
yeah,
because I've never tried it because I was told one time that if you do ecstasy, that it can bring out those feelings from deep inside that you don't really want to mess with.
right, right,
And I was like, oh no, see, we don't need to open up Pandora's box.
right. It does look like he has the devil tattooed on his chest. Let me see if I can
Yeah, it
see
sure
it.
does.
I know that there's a clown looking thing with horns right here.
Yeah, the one
Yeah,
on the left definitely looks like a devil.
yeah, that does look like the devil. But think about it. When you're in this lifestyle, you're dancing with the devil pretty much. I mean, meth is the devil drug. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, it is.
Let's hear some more.
They fucking live for is their next fix.
It's a $1,500 purse. And I got offered $300 if I get it. That's what I was thinking about. But my fix, my wake up, I was anxious to get high this moment, but I wasn't like too, because I knew I had my wake up. You know what I mean? So, but if I didn't have my wake up and notice we didn't meet you tonight, oh man, I'd be panicking.
Because that's what it is. The whole cycle, drug addict cycle is doesn't necessarily have to be, getting high or whatever. It's once you get high, it's how we're gonna get money to get drugs to get the next high, and so on and so forth. So
But the high is worth it. Like to trade everything just for that chase.
obviously that's what all the
As long as I'm not hurting nobody.
But it becomes a point where it's not even like a choice anymore, right? Like you feel that you
Because now
need it.
I'm living on fentanyl time.
Of course, yeah.
I'm not on my time no more. I'm on fentanyl time.
Do you ever think about getting clean?
Hell no, you wanna know why? Because I can't imagine life sober. Man. What is like? I know you're sober. What is life like sober? I can't imagine that. It just seems so boring.
I disagree. I know, yeah, I'm sure
That
he
right
has
there is
feelings
such a profound
that
statement.
Yes, it is. I was just gonna comment on that. Go ahead.
And
Let me
I'm
turn this
so
AC.
serious. He does
Yeah.
not know how profound that is.
Go ahead and speak on it. I'll turn this AC off. Cool.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
I said, go ahead and speak on it. I'm turning the
Oh,
AC off. It's
well, I mean,
cold.
it's such a okay. So his statement was, I can't even imagine life without getting high because what a boring life it would be. And the reason that is such a profound statement is because when we're actively using and we are in that active lifestyle, the chaos is what gets us going. The chaos, the adrenaline, because it ain't enough just to open up the dopamine and all that. We got to have the adrenaline and all the
Right.
things that go along with it. And
Right.
so what happens is when people try to get clean, the quiet is deafening to them. And they end up going back to the chaos because the quiet scares them to death because it is boring. And so
And
you have
we
to,
spoke on this. We spoke on this the other night. Remember? It's like
yes,
how many people in that lifestyle, they always have a freaking emergency going on. There's always something that is going on in their lives, and you're like, well, who could have this much bad luck?
well, I
Do you
mean,
get what I'm saying?
I can have that much bad luck.
I'm not talking about you right now. I'm talking about in this
Yeah,
lifestyle, they always
right.
get their driver's license stolen, so they never have a driver's license, never have an ID, never have a social security card, never have a debit card, never have any of that stuff. Their cell phone's been stolen, or they're sharing a cell phone.
That's
You know,
because
so,
their brain is going in 900 different directions. And
yeah,
look, I can remember when I would be geeking and I would go to clean my room, I would tear up the whole house cleaning my room.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, because you have like 19 different projects going at one time, but you don't finish a one of them.
Hell, you might not even finish the one.
Right. And by the
You
time,
always have those immaculate ideas. What if I make my
yes,
microwave into a fan? Let me
yes,
take it
exactly.
apart.
Oh my gosh.
Let me take it apart.
Let me see what
Let
makes
me
this,
yeah,
let me
let
see
me
what makes this
amplify
thing
this
tick.
appliance. Yeah, let me amplify this appliance. Let me make it better.
Exactly. I need my biscuit ready in 2 seconds, not 30.
And there's people with ticks. That's what I call them. I'm not talking about the physical tick. I'm talking about like some
Yes.
people they pick up stuff like they might pick up a rock, and that's their thing. Everywhere they go they find a rock and they hang on
I
to it.
have a I have a
so
rock from every state
so you end up at the end of the night,
with 48 rocks
yes, pulling a little wagon going down the street with
going
with,
down the road.
with rock.
Or you're going down the road and you see the spotlight and somebody's out at 2 o'clock in the morning washing their car.
If you're ever, I mean, I'm not trying to say that everybody's tweaking that wears those little headlamps, but if you're out at 3 in the morning digging through the dumpster, you're either hungry or you're looking for something to go sell to the to the guy at the trap house,
Right.
for your sticks. Yeah.
Quick little story because somebody talked about vacuuming the grass.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh, I could tell y'all so many stories. But anyway, when I was on TikTok and we were, I would talk to people, during their recovery. And I was always really good about if I knew it was like day one, I would keep up with it to, hey, Susie, so congratulations on day 11, you know,
Right.
because
Right.
those kudos means everything to somebody trying to quit, you know.
That's true.
And people that have never done meth or never done drugs is not going to understand this. One night, girl comes into my live and she says, Nina, I vacuumed my floor. I said, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I can't believe that. And somebody asked me, "Why are you so proud of her for vacuuming her floor?" I said, "Because for a meth head to vacuum their carpet instead of carpet searching, because what if I dropped a rock? I can't vacuum that floor. I might vacuum that rock up." And she was
Yeah.
so proud of herself because she got up that morning and she didn't even think about it and she vacuumed her living room carpet.
I mean, that's almost like
About it and she vacuumed her living
the person who is an alcoholic that barbecues for the first time,
room. Right.
without
Without holding a beer.
right.
But now I will tell you about some tweaking, okay? Look, we lived in a little rundown trailer and it had these little bugs. So I go and get some bug sprayers. And we spray every room in that house to where we sprayed so much that every one of us had to go and jump in the tub because our skin was just falling off. I mean, and all we were doing was tweaking, spraying bugs. We sprayed every corner, every crack, every crevice, every.
Well, you're probably spraying yourself too because they call them, meth drugs or meth bugs or,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know,
Exactly.
just like this
You're
guy's doing right here.
absolutely.
He's like, did you see him scratching? That's
Look,
exactly what it looks like.
let me tell you how serious meth bugs are. I know a girl that I'm really, really, really close to, and I ain't gonna say her name in case she's watching,
Yeah.
but she was convinced that she had bugs, that she shaved her head.
God, I'm scratching just thinking about it.
I mean, literally took a razor and shaved her head as bald as these guys right here.
Dang, what's her name? Britney Spears? Shit.
I mean, so it's true. I mean, look, y'all, I don't know if one of the reasons that I don't do a lot of camera now is number one, my teeth are falling out from the meth, you know, and number two is when you're high and everything, you don't realize that you're gritting your back teeth
Yeah.
and you get what's called monster jaw. And that's when you see them like, and even today, with me being 13 years clean, did you know I can still catch myself doing that just from the habit?
Nina, I've seen people on their cell phone doing this.
And I mean, and it's
You know what
sometimes,
I'm saying? You know what that is?
yes, yes, but Monster Jaw, I mean, it actually, because you don't realize it, but you're literally grinding your jaws
Yeah.
together, and it causes your mouth
But
to look deformed.
also, your mouth is so dry because you have no or very little saliva because your body dehydrated from the stimulant. It's
Yes,
basically draining everything from you, and your enamel starts to deteriorate for lack of saliva in your mouth. And think
and
about that.
yeah, it is it. And see, we always had the rule: brush your teeth. Listerine, 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 and it doesn't matter. We brushed our teeth probably 20 times a day. You know, it wasn't from the bad hygiene. Come on
Right.
now, I'm sitting here smoking, rat poison and the matched stuff off of matches and lithium from the batteries, and
Yeah.
we used to work for a company that delivered cell phones, and we literally had to be followed 250 miles because they would hijack the trucks for the lithium batteries.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, come on, yeah. They have to lock up baby formula. I'm smoking baby formula when I was doing it. I mean,
Let's listen a little more to what these guys are talking about. See, this guy right here didn't even finish all his. So he's sitting there, he's gripping that as tight as he can because who knows when he'll get another one. You know what I mean? Do you think this guy that did the interview? Do you think that he paid them with drugs to be able to interview them? Like,
God, I hope not.
I'll get, I'll get each of you a shot if you know.
Oh, I hope not.
You just never know. I hope not
See,
either. But
because the thing about it though is when you're high like that, you'll talk to a stop sign. So, they were like,
it's dangerous to
sure, we'll do an interview.
it's dangerous to approach somebody though in that state of mind because you don't know at what point they start viewing and seeing things or hearing
Absolutely.
things that
Meth
you might be
psychosis is,
yeah, you might be an innocent person filming these people, but to them, that light, the- it's a demon coming out of
look,
nowhere.
y'all, meth psychosis ain't no joke. I had to be introduced to my son one morning because he walked in and I hadn't been to sleep in like 9 days. And I was so sleep deprived and in total meth psychosis that I didn't even know who my son was.
I mean, can you just normally, let's say there's a lot of people that don't sleep every night. There's people that, their sleep cycle's off, or you're getting older and you don't sleep as much. Think about how tired you are from not getting sleep. After a while, you start hearing things, you start seeing things. I mean, the shadow monsters are real, y'all. I
Hey,
mean,
y'all, I kid you not. Marty on the truck, she used to say, "Okay, hold on. There's a midget in the middle of the road, a midget cowboy." Okay, I didn't feel us hit anything. It must have been the psychosis. I mean, she'd
you
see
know,
midget psychosis and midget cowboys and trees.
after a while, as tired as you are, I was driving one night and I was drinking Red Bulls, right? And I shit you not, I saw somebody in the middle of the damn I-20. It was just a shadow. And I was like, "Arr!" I mean, I didn't slam on the brakes like that, but I slowed down just in case it was somebody. And my friends in the other seats like, there's nothing there. Speed up. You're gonna get us, rear-ended, whatever. But I saw that thing like float across the road. The Red
And
Bull
the
was
thing
on
about it
the
is
social
nobody will ever
seat.
convince you that you didn't see it
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
because that's your truth.
Shadow people, you're right. Or you got those people that you ever notice you go to somebody's house if that little bitty piece of the blind is cut out, that little bitty piece. There's only one little bitty piece missing.
That's
That's
geeking out the blinds.
yes. That way
And
they
it's
can be
always at
able
eye level.
that way you can go to that one little piece and not have to raise and lower because if somebody is out there watching you, they're gonna see you doing that.
Look,
In
I
your
was
mind.
geeking through the blinds one night and I swore there was somebody across the street. There was somebody out there. They were coming to get us. It was a freaking mailbox.
I'm sorry, we gotta get on with the video.
Um, times in his life where he's like, bro, I can't do this forever. I gotta um, be, get clean one day where I can spend time with my kids and raise them with my dad, blah, blah, blah.
Like, are you happy out here?
Huh?
Are you happy?
Right now, he is. Because he
I'm
got
okay. I'm gonna
drugs.
explain something to you.
I think he, right now, would say,
I'm not
yeah,
miserable.
it's a good little spot. We with some friends that are good, that he cares about. He knows care about him. And we're having a good time, man. It's just
In
like,
this moment, though, but like
like
overall, are you happy? Day to day life?
They like, you know what? I think I'm happier than the average person that's got to go to work every day, pay bills every day. Because I've had this conversation with somebody on the train already. He asked me, he told me that I had to be miserable. You're homeless, but you know what? I'm not miserable.
let me jump in only because Chris is a good friend of mine, and I feel like, and me and him have even talked about it, but um, I feel like I could tell, hey man, you do that. No, but this is where if you're gonna live the lifestyle we live, which is chasing the high and um, chasing the high and doing what we want to do to the max.
Is he hard to understand, or is it just my hearing?
Yeah, they're talking geek talk.
Yeah, I was like, okay, is he kind of like
He's
it?
talking about chasing the high, and what's sad is you'll
Yeah,
never
the
catch it.
fin, the fin is kicking in because he's slowing down. The other
Yeah,
dude is like, he don't
yeah, I
he
think he put more
doesn't.
meth in his.
Yeah, I think so too. What I was gonna tell you is the involuntary nerve stuff that goes on while you're using chemicals. I've known somebody that used to use cocaine, and his hand would shrivel up like this, you know. And there's all kinds of ticks to this. You know what I
Did you
mean?
know that? Yeah, but what people need to realize too is meth and coke actually causes lesions in your brain, just
Yeah.
like MS. Just like, I mean, it is a permanent. When you do, you're not just doing the damage at that moment. I'm suffering from my meth use at 56 years old because of number one, my mouth, my teeth, my eyes, my nose. Oh my God, my nose. Because, see, where a lot of people's way of doing it to get that instant high is through a needle, I never touched a needle. But you give me a hot rail, oh man, you know, and that was my way, not smoking it, not doing, but I ruined my nose doing it. I mean, I literally have holes in my nose from doing it.
It's interesting that you talked about that when I was working. This was a long time ago, probably 98. When I was working in the drug rehab, this guy came in and he had
Yep,
they had cut out all this part of his nose.
yep.
Like had
Yeah, I'm very blessed on that part.
part of
But
his nose was gone.
when I started doing it, it was crystal meth, you know, and like Breaking Bad, you know. And
Right.
then it went to ice. Well, some friends of mine, I didn't know anything about ice, and so I go in there to do my line, and oh my God, it was ice. It wasn't crystal meth. And oh my God, I thought my nose was going to burn off my face because you can't chop ice up like you can crystal meth. You can get meth into a powder. You can't
Right.
ice.
But since we're talking about all this, and these guys obviously are not anywhere near the recovery process, just like that one guy said, you know what, life would be so boring without it. That's exactly what you think because you're so miserable. You believe that high that you're getting is the only thing in life that brings you any happiness whatsoever because you're so far removed from the person you used to be because you've been high for so long. Does that make sense at all?
Oh, yeah, that's 100% true. These two guys right here, they're not even someone I would even approach. As far, I mean, of course, be there if they needed help or something, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? But
Right.
to sit down and try to pull them over to the recovery side, they're nowhere near ready.
Right.
I mean, they are in their treehouse in their own little world, living their life, and just want to be left alone.
And like that one guy said, the one on the not the one with the devil tattoo on his chest, the other guy, he said he wouldn't know he couldn't function in sobriety. He wouldn't know what to do being sober. It's boring. It's
But now,
not
see,
good.
I can sort of understand that because when I'm high, okay, believe it or not, I'm an introvert.
No
I'm
way.
not I'm not a social butterfly. I think that's the reason I may do okay online. But like when I was I did promotions for a movie theater. I would do every bit of the work putting that promotion together, but somebody else would be out front doing the interviews with the radio station and stuff like that because I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that
Well,
didn't bother me. It's just that's not who I was at the time. But now you get me high, shit, I'll talk to the devil.
we're literally listening to the devil right now in this video.
Yes, we
Look
are.
look at the veins in his head right there. You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
There's
that's
serious. There's some serious constriction right there.
but that's really scary.
Yeah. Wow. Poor guys.
And they
Like,
don't realize
we're drug
they
addicts.
don't realize
We
it
live
could
on the
be their
street
last one,
because we
but they
want
don't
to. But
care.
Chris is like me, and we have the potential to do so much and accomplish pretty much anything we want to do in this aspect of life. Which so that being said, I know that he's gifted in a lot of the same aspects I am that allows him to make uh, leaps and bounds in areas that are extremely beneficial in this lifestyle for him. So, I know like where he's at and like what view he has of this lifestyle because I can relate to it a lot. Like, you know, being good looking and being street smart.
Is that a carpal tunnel brace he's wearing? That is, isn't it?
That or he broke his wrist.
Something. And that's another thing about the health problems that are associated with the stimulant use and everything else is your bones become brittle. Do they
Hey
not,
man,
Nina?
I got a million plates in my body right now.
But you don't realize it. I mean, you fall down, bam, you crack your kneecap, you hurt your shoulder, whatever. I mean, these guys don't look very old. They look like in their, I would say, middle to late 30s.
Yeah, yeah, and that's just it though. I mean, I'm 56 and I look probably I'm not going to say 76, but I look at least 10 years older.
This kid said I looked 38 the other day. I was like, well, thank you. I was like,
Hey, hey,
how
this isn't helping, is it? What's Rondi mean?
oh, I think she's saying that, them being high is not helping.
Oh,
Usually ain't nothing wrong
no,
with
I
it.
mean, looking back and everything, it never helped anything, but in the moment, it did.
Think of it like this. It's like it's an escape. It's an
Yes.
escape from not having to worry about being homeless, not having to worry about not having anything to eat, not having to worry about, you know, making money to finance your stuff because when they're on the hunt, when they're on the grind, they're going to find it. They're going to get it somehow. And that's why a lot of people do the extreme to get what they need. They learn that street mentality, hustle at all costs, get your grind on, get what you need, you know? But as much as you're getting, you're putting it into the vein, it's sadly as it sounds. What are you going to say, Nina?
I don't know. I mean, it's just I I said in the moment and everything, but the thing about it is what everybody needs to realize is the drug's not the problem. The problem is the person.
Hmm.
If you don't take care of the person, you can take every drug there is off the streets, okay? They're going to find something to replace what's missing inside them.
They're probably they probably tattooed themselves,
Oh
or
yeah.
they've probably been locked up, or somebody gave them to them. They probably, you'll trade just about anything for anything you want. I mean,
See, I
let's
never
say
got to that point.
let's say that you are with somebody and they're a tattoo, quote unquote, tattoo artist, and you got a little bit of dope, a little bit of extra
Right.
dope. You say, hey, I'll give you a little bit of this if you'll clean this up for me, or you'll do that. I mean, it's a bartering tool.
I mean,
Wow,
that's
look at
one thing
that.
I can say is I never got into the trading my body or the stealing or the stuff like that. I mean, there are and I'm not judging anybody that has because it does get that hold on you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I guess I was what you call there is no such thing as a functioning addict. But at
No,
the time I thought I was a functioning addict.
I've heard that so many times, Nina, and you're right. Functioning alcoholic, possibly in the early stages, but a functioning addict, no. You think you're functioning, but like you said, you're doing all these multiple tasks and you're not completing any. It gives me severe anxiety to watch somebody jump from thing to thing to thing and never complete one. It drives me
Well, see,
crazy.
I guess the reason that I thought I was a functioning addict is I never lost my kids. My
Yeah.
kids never went without. I always had a job. Sometimes I had two jobs. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I was working. I was taking care of my kids. Bullshit. I was doing meth. Is that taking care of my kids? I mean, smoking meth in my kid's house. I sent you that article the other day about the woman that bought her house and it was where people had smoked meth. But at the
Mhm.
time, being in active addiction, if I went to my room or I went to the bathroom, my kids never knew I did it when they were growing up and stuff like that. They did not know I was an addict until they got into their teens. You know. And oh, I was good then because I was honest with them. Yay! So I set my kids down and told them that I like meth. That made me a good mother. I mean,
You
I'm
go in,
sorry. I just
you
keep it.
go
I
in
just keep
looking
it.
sleepy. You go in looking sleepy in the bathroom. You come out looking like this guy.
But
Good
I mean, I
morning.
just keep it real.
I know you are, but think about that. You go in half dead into the bathroom. All of a sudden, mom
Yeah,
comes
like my
out.
kids didn't know something.
Mom comes out 30 minutes to an hour later. She's
Yeah.
sniffling and everything else. Her jaw's moving 100 miles an
Now she's
hour.
in there Now she's in there scrubbing the chrome off of the ceiling tile or something. I mean, I cut the
And
grass with scissors.
how come mom can't hear us like she could before she went to the bathroom? She has hearing loss all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know, ain't that the damnedest thing? The higher you get, the less you can hear.
Never thought about that.
I, I'm just speaking for myself here. You know,
But it
it's
is
like,
facts. It is facts now that I think of it. Huh? What? I got 900 things in my head. Can you slow down?
right, right.
I mean, and she looked like she was feeling so damn good, man.
Did you feel like you wanted to escape something?
Yeah, I wanted to escape. No, I didn't want to escape. I just wanted to have fun, man. It feels good.
Yeah, my situation is crazy because my dad was a big cocaine dealer in the 70s and 80s or whatever. And so my mom was just a big cocaine user.
Okay, he's
And
starting to sound like the devil.
when she got pregnant by my dad, she, I don't know how, had the self discipline to get fucking clean while she was pregnant and had me and my twin sister. And she had sobered up and she went and joined the military so she could raise two kids. And and joined the military to raise two kids. And in the military she couldn't get on. So we she moved around. We were military brats, and she we lived somewhere different every 3 years. And
He's picking the shit out of that leg, isn't he?
Yeah, but look at his arm. Remember him picking his arm? Look
Yeah.
above, if that's a watch or something, look where he was picking.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Meth source.
Yeah, yeah, she left my dad because he sold drugs for a living and she didn't want to raise kids in that environment. And
You were, and I know that we've talked about this in videos before, but you were born in Miami, right, Dirty?
yeah, sure.
And were you, Chris?
No, I wasn't born in Miami. I was born in Camden, New Jersey.
At what age did you come to Miami?
My dad had got a job on the port of Miami. I can't remember what he was doing. I think he was underwater welding or something.
That's supposed to be good, man. Talking.
So we moved down here for the job, and I came with him. My two sisters, my brother stayed in Jersey. Like I said, when my brother was going to, my brother's the oldest.
How your dad gave from Puerto Rico?
Huh?
How your dad gave from Puerto Rico?
My dad was born over here. My grandma and grandfather was the ones that came.
Your grandma and grandpa were what?
They're the ones that came over here, you know what I'm saying, before my mom and dad were born.
You know
Her
when
parents
they
and
came?
my dad's parents, huh?
You know when they came? Your dad's parents.
I don't even know.
But like, you know how they got here? Like, was it
Probably
illegal
flew
or
over here.
illegal?
They probably flew over and took a boat.
Well, cause like my grandparents came on something called the Peter Pan
Oh, yes.
lift.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that in Puerto Rico because
What the hell?
Peter Pan lift.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
61.
What?
Why are we talking about grandparents and Peter Pan?
Oh no. I don't know.
And see, the sad thing about that is this is exactly how they get MRSA.
Yeah. MRSA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Pan, huh?
Did I
This
not hear
dude,
grandparents and Peter Pan?
this dude right here is in bad shape because he's
The
already
one on the
picked.
left?
Yeah, he's already picked the shit out of that scab.
Yeah, devil guy. Devil
Mhm.
guy. He done talking to the devil.
This guy doesn't look like he's been doing it as long. His skin's clear, not as
Right.
wrinkled. He looks like he's just beginning the stages. This guy looks
Right.
like he's been in it for a while.
Yeah.
This guy looks more hydrated than this one.
That guy
This,
on the right hadn't seen the devil as
look,
much as devil guy.
this one has part of his shirt on,
Right.
and he just looks
One
in
of those
bad.
tasks you don't finish.
Yeah,
Just like the Maria boat lift was in 80 or 81, 82, something like that.
Something like that. I think it's like a
But-
lottery. It's like
Oh,
a
okay.
lottery
It
thing.
was. The Peter
But-
Pan was like a lottery for like rich people.
And they came from Cuba on your
Yeah,
side?
yeah.
Chris, what part of Miami did you grow up in?
I grew up in Wynwood.
And what you said it was in the 80s, right? Or
Yeah, I lived in Wynwood since we've been down here, man.
Well,
I
we were
left
born
Wynwood.
there.
Did
I
he
left
say
Wynwood
80s?
in prison. 2000.
Well, I throw you one.
he sure did. They're not really making a lot of sense. I just want to talk now, Nina. You know, you know what I was thinking about this while I was watching this, how sad this is
Oh, yeah.
this is prevalent these days in society. And we're talking about something tonight that is really important to be talking about. And where is everybody? Where is everybody?
I
Where are
guess, I guess that's what hit me today. And I didn't mean for it to come off as a rant. I meant for it to come off as some kind of reality check or something, of 262 people are dead in 48 hours. Why are we not talking about it? Why are we not discussing it? Why is it not kicking in? Why is it not getting paid attention to? Why are we not kicking and screaming on the highest mountaintop? Every one of us. Make it stop.
Do you believe because it's not real to people, or do you believe that they really don't give a shit as long as it's not in their backyard?
I can sit there and I can say that maybe up until 3 years ago, I would give everybody the benefit of the doubt and say they don't understand it. Okay? My son in October the 1st. Wow, that's coming up quick. Shit. October the 1st, my son will be dead 6 years. Okay? When I carried my mother to see the headstone, she stood at the foot of his grave and she cussed him, calling him the P word, telling him he wasn't strong enough, that he loved the drug more than he did his sons. And I started to stop her, but I knew she needed to get it out. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? I
right.
knew that she needed to say that pain that she felt from not understanding why he was laying in that grave. Her grandson, her only grandson.
Mm-hmm.
She had 5 girls and one grandson, and he's laying in a grave. And that was 6 years ago. She totally did not understand that it was the hold of addiction. So I let her say everything she needed to say because she needed to. But I can't do that now. When you're losing somebody every 11 minutes, that's touching almost everybody in the United States.
I don't know how it couldn't be.
So I
I
can't
mean,
give people the benefit of the doubt of not understanding it. Does that make sense?
of course it does. Of course it does.
Because you can't tell me that somebody, I think every person out there has some way of being affected by addiction.
Well, think about this. Think about this. And I'm not going to get into the debate because I don't like to get into the weed debate. And many people don't believe that weed is a gateway drug or it's never been or all this and that. But nicotine is actually the gateway drug. Because you start smoking cigarettes way before you start smoking weed a lot of times. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But it's always try one more thing a little more intense. Well,
Right,
when you're smoking it, you go to snorting it, then you go to shooting it, and then you're at the top of the hierarchy. What other
right,
way? You know what I mean? And it's like, how did I get here so damn quick? I was just smoking weed every now and then at the party and drinking some beer every now and then. How did I end up shooting it and sneaking around and having all these scars on my arms and everywhere else because I've blown all my veins? How did I get here? You know, the big book and the NA book talks about the habitual. In the AA book, it talks about the habitual jaywalker, and that's the story that they talk about. They use as an example of what addiction really is continuing to do something, even though it's eventually going to kill you one day. And I don't know if you remember it, but the story goes. I'm paraphrasing here. The story goes. There's a habitual jaywalker. Well, he has been told by people, quit jaywalking, it's gonna kill you, blah blah blah. First time around, he gets hit by a car, breaks his arm in the hospital for about 3 6 weeks. He gets out. First thing he does, jaywalk again. He gets hit by another car, breaks both arms. This time he's in for a month and a half or longer. He gets out, feeling great, right back into traffic. He gets hit, get put in a body cast. And people are like, well, maybe that'll teach him. Maybe that'll be the final straw. Maybe he'll learn his lesson. He gets out 6 months later. He wheels himself out in a wheelchair because he can't really walk. He's not strong enough anymore. Well, guess what he does? Instead of going home, he goes out into the traffic and ends up getting hit by a bread truck, and that's the end of the jaywalker. And
right.
people, well,
I
why
I
didn't
can
he
tell you
just
why didn't he just quit?
why didn't he just quit? Why didn't he
The
just
same
stop?
reason, the same reason when I lived in Louisville, there was a bad batch going around. They would literally drive to the emergency room parking lot and get high So in case they got that bad batch, they were at the emergency room. That's the kind
Mm-mm.
of hold addiction has on you. Is you will
Of
drive to an
course.
emergency room to get high in case you get that bad batch and you still do it.
And that's the definition of insanity. It's doing the
Yep,
same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. But how many times do people honestly do that in their addiction? People are so judgmental when it comes to addicts and alcoholics and people that have problems with gambling and even people with pornography problems, eating. I know in Discord I put some stuff that is probably a little uncouth, but about certain areas, but it's all in fun. You know what I mean? But regardless, I'm in no way insensitive when it comes to somebody honestly having an issue with it.
right.
Somebody came up to me and said, I have an eating disorder. I have this. This is the problem. Okay, well, let's see what we can do as far as getting you some help, or if I can maybe listen to you, then possibly we can work on it. But there's a lot of society that still places such a negative stigma on people with problems.
Yep,
And I don't understand that whatsoever. I mean, if it's a mental affliction, there's so many medications out there. There's no reason that people should be self-medicating on the streets. There really
right.
shouldn't. A lot of people do it. Um, but if it's something that you're making the choice, plant the seed. It's not your job to get them to heaven. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
And to have
exactly. And
and to
that's
have
the thing about it is planting a seed is a whole lot more than hitting them over the head with the tree.
yeah. I've
Because
never
doing
been
that just turns them away.
I've never been one of those people that beat somebody over the head with the big book or sit there and preach it to somebody. I mean,
Right,
I
right.
get I
Because
get
all that
passionate.
does is turn them against it.
Right. I've been passionate about recovery, because I am passionate about it, but because I remember how wonderful it felt when the cloud lifted,
Yeah.
when I wasn't angry all the time, and when life really started to feel like it was fun, and I was experiencing different things. And you know what? I actually could hear the bird chirping and, see color for the first time. And I know that sounds silly to think about, but if you've lived in darkness for a long time, those things really mean a lot to you when you start able to
The
be able.
quiet. The
Yeah,
quiet means a lot.
man, I crave that quietness now. I
Yeah.
crave it.
Yeah. It's like just let me veg out.
Some kid asked me the other day, he said, "What makes you happy?" And I said, "Silence."
Exactly. And I never thought that I would want that in my life.
Oh, hell no. Chaos, the more chaotic, the faster it was, the louder it was. That's what I wanted to be in. Because,
Yeah, and see, I think that went over into my work because it seemed like the closer the deadline was or the harder it was, the better I was
right.
because it got that adrenaline going. Oh my God, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. You know what I'm saying? And because you have to admit, when you're high, procrastination is way up there.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, you have an appointment at 2.
I think that's one of the reasons now that coffee really doesn't work on me. Caffeine
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
work on me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, energy drinks, I might catch a good one on a good day, or I might start like if I drink a bang or something like that. It makes me feel
I don't even attempt them. I don't even buy them.
so it makes me feel so dirty. It's awful. It is that awful feeling where you're stuck and your heart's beating fast, you're all clammy, and you're like, you feel like shit. You feel dirty. I mean, I don't like them. I don't like that kind of feeling because it just reminds me of so many things. And then the next day, for the moment, you have that brief feeling of depression.
Right.
You get what I'm understand? You get what I'm saying? It's like,
Oh yeah, like I said the other day, what goes up must come down.
yeah, and that depression is different. It hits different.
One of the things that people don't know about me is I used to be in lifestyle. Okay, I mean, and I don't know if you've ever heard about subspace. Okay,
Yeah,
but subspace is that euphoria where you hit that high, like the dominants, they hit runner's high or brick wall syndrome. Okay, but the thing about it is that's where I learned it. What goes up must come down. You know, you
right,
get that you get that subspace, and honey, if you could bottle subspace, you would be a zillionaire. You know, but the thing about it is the things that I did in my life was always hunting what was missing in me.
exactly.
You know,
Let me answer this question for Rondi. That drink, those energy drinks have a lot of taurine in them, and they have so much caffeine that it gives you that uppity feeling for normal people. But I believe that I burned out a lot of my neurotransmitters where it doesn't work on me like it would work on somebody who's never done stimulants for a long period of time. I don't know how
what
yours are,
happens is
Nina.
this. Yeah, but what happens too is like my dopamine levels. I mean, because of all the meth I've done, I will
Hmm.
never be able to reach a normal dopamine level, ever, ever. I fucked my dopamine up. I mean, I mean,
Right, because
and
it
so that's the
kills
reason.
it kills
Yes,
the synapse because so much dopamine is released. The synapse has to make different, I call them
yes.
ventricles, but little openings for the dopamine to be able to shoot through there because there's so much. And what
And see,
happens
what
is,
happens doing the meth is it keeps your brain from making its own dopamine.
right,
It becomes dependent. That's where the dependency comes on.
and the math at times blocks the dopamine from
Yep,
being reuptake. So it's just
yep,
sitting there floating around until it dies.
yep,
And then that burns out the neurotransmitter because it's like a highway,
yes,
normal
yes.
goes this way and then it goes back that way, it's like
And
it's
then you got those lesions that's like ditches in the highway.
yeah. But it's terrible, I always heard that, to get on a different topic a little bit, ecstasy, it creates such intense heat in the body because it raises the blood pressure so high, and that's what the heat feeling is, and that it
Yes.
actually does, like you said, MDMA. It bores a hole in the brain. There's brain
Yep.
lesions
Yep.
after you use it because of the intensity of the drug, and that is
I mean,
sad.
I wouldn't want to have a brain scan because they would probably put me in a convalescent home.
Jesus,
I mean, I'm
are
serious.
those
They'd
still
say,
available? Are those things? Is
but
that still a thing?
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I did it 16 years every day. Didn't miss a day.
That was your morning coffee, right?
It was my morning coffee, my lunch, my dinner, my snack, my midnight snack, my 2 a.m. snack. I mean, you know, and I'm so grateful that I never my rule was always no needle, no needle, no needle. And I can honestly say I never even tried it.
Right. You know what's sad is when you're so amped up that you actually try to eat, you become
Oh
so
my God.
nauseated. You become so nauseated because there's very little water in your stomach. So all it is the gastric acid, that breaks down the food. And you're just like
Okay.
nauseous and even what? Vomiting
Okay.
because you hold the food down.
Okay. So, peanut butter balances your sugar, right? Nothing
Hmm.
says I love you like peanut butter, okay? If you're an addict, you will understand that. Nothing
Yes,
says I love you like peanut butter because if somebody is falling out or something like that, give them some peanut butter and it'll balance it right out and they can go get high with you again. Nothing says I love you like peanut butter. But anyway, so I am falling out, just falling out. Well, they start giving me peanut butter. My mouth is so dry that the peanut butter is just sticking and they're putting more peanut butter and it's sticking and they're putting more peanut butter because they think I'm swallowing. And all of a sudden, this peanut butter just starts coming out my mouth, and my moo moo dog just starts licking it like, "Here, mom, let me get some peanut butter for you," you know. And they
God,
didn't realize that they were choking me to death on the
right.
peanut butter.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, they were closing up your airway with the peanut butter. That's awful.
Exactly. You know those little bitty cans of deviled ham?
Yeah,
Okay, so I love deviled ham and crackers. Easiest thing you can eat when you're high. Okay?
right.
Honey, it took me 2 hours to eat a can of that stuff. 2 hours. I swear that shit was growing. Every time I take a bite, I swear it was refilling itself or something. Because me and Marty always had a rule: brush your teeth and eat. If you don't eat, you don't smoke. If you don't brush your teeth, you don't smoke. You don't bathe, you don't smoke. We had rules. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me a functioning addict. We did it responsibly. How fucked up is that, Gage?
That is pretty fucked up. It's kind of like I don't drink hard liquor. All I do is drink beer. So
I
all
mean,
I drink is
we thought we had
water.
it going on because we brushed our teeth. We
Right.
we we made ourselves eat. We made ourselves drink our juice because I'll tell you another thing what people don't understand is the pain that comes when you start coming down. What people don't realize is the reason you're in that pain is because all that stuff that's in that meth has took every nutrient out of your bones, every nutrient out of your muscles and everything. So we used to keep Splash, V8 Splash, and we would drink V8 Splash, and we didn't drink Powerade or anything. We drank nothing but V8 Splash. And the best thing you can do is go get you a tuna sub because fish totally restores your brain. You know, So when you got that meth brain, go get you some tuna. You'll be just fine. You can go to a birthday party, nobody ever know you high. You know.
Nina, whatever. Whatever. These myths, I mean, these myths are crazy. It's
No,
kind of
that's
like,
all true. That's my
hey,
life.
if you're hungover, get you some pizza and some pasta. It'll soak it right up in your system and you'll be good to
That
go.
is the absolute truth.
No, it
Because
is.
the tuna is such brain food
Well, I
that
know, but
it'll give you enough to get through.
so you always wore sunglasses everywhere you went, right?
No, I never looked high except for my monster jaw.
Nina, why you look like a pit bull chomping down on something?
It looked like Pac-Man.
God almighty. I mean, people don't take it wrong that we're laughing about it. We've reached a point in our lives where, we quit crying about it a long time ago. Sometimes you gotta laugh to remember how bad it was. You
Well,
really
I mean,
do.
the
And
thing about it is
we're not
we're
making fun
laughing
of
at our own
anything.
stuff.
Yes, I'm not laughing at Nina because I can relate to what she's talking about. I'm laughing at
Right.
my own story. Like, damn, I totally remember that. I totally remember that crap. But one thing that I hated was the morning after because your back hurt like
Oh my
nobody's
God.
business. It felt like you got hit by a Mack truck.
Yes. And
You
that's
know
the
what I
thing about
mean?
it is I'll tell people all the time, for an addict, it's not the drug. It's when the drug runs out that's the problem.
Right, right. I mean it.
That's when I
You
ended up
tell
in jail.
You feel like the Tin Man that needs some oil to stand up straight for reals. I mean, I'd be laying in bed sometimes, go to get out, and I'd be like, "Oh my god,
And you got to
20."
consider that during my time, I was on an 18-wheeler. And poor old Marty, I would be, look, we bought some from a hooker out in California, and I started peeing blood. I was
Yeah,
literally peeing blood. I told her, if you let me die in California, I'm coming back. I'm haunting your ass. She said, okay, I'll drop you out on the side of the road in Colorado or something. So, I mean, I swore off of it. I was never touching it again. It was going to kill me, honey. As soon as we hit Alabama, I was calling Chastity up. Hey, we are in Alabama. So what did we do, Gage? No, here's what we did. We did like the jaywalker. We just bought enough that we didn't run out on the road.
right.
You
And that's
know,
all. That's always the plan, right? You can't
so you're
use
from
all of
Texas,
it.
right?
Yeah,
Okay, so you know about those little oh my gosh, what are they called? Those places you go through when you're coming up from Mexico. The Border Patrol.
yeah.
Okay, so we had regular runs to Laredo and Brownsville, okay? And look, this is how dedicated we were. I would put it in my ponytail, okay? And we would go through there. Now Marty's high one day and she's like, "Hey, why can't that puppy come out and play? Why you got it? Can you shut the hell up? Don't be talking to the Border Patrol about getting the dog out to come and play. I got dope in my ponytail." You know? I mean, so it got to where we were coming up through there so much, we would drop the dope off in San Antonio at a motel and go down so we wouldn't have it on us and pick the dope up on the way back. It stayed in the motel room. We got our dope in motel room.
You know, that is the thing about somebody who is either active in their addiction or has had a life of addiction. You never forget those little tricks. You might use them with different things, but you learn the survival skills needed to quote unquote function, right?
Right. And I'm not glorifying it or anything like that.
Oh, I don't take it as that.
It's just who is so far into their addiction that instead of just not having the dope on the truck and going through Border Patrol, you get a motel room for it.
Right. I mean, that is
You know.
pretty ingenious. It really is. Go hide it in the bathroom somewhere and,
Oh no,
come
we would
back.
just leave, we would take a bag of luggage in there and just leave the bag of luggage. And then when we got finished and came back up through San Antonio to go to Paragould, Arkansas, we would pick it up and go on about our business. But man, used to now the one that scared me was coming out of five out of California. Or one of those coming out of California. Let me tell you, I would be so in a mess that Marty would literally send me to the sleeper. She'd say, "You're gonna get us busted," because it stressed me out so bad. Now Brownsville and Laredo, honey, I've been through the X-ray machines and everything with it in my ponytail or in between my boobs. And not, I mean, they even got us out one time, searched the truck, and I'm sitting out there on the bench with it in my ponytail, you know. But man, that one coming out of California, buddy, that one I just knew I was going up in Mexican jail.
So how'd you ever? How you said that you ended up in jail? How did that happen?
Which time?
Well, pick a time.
The my
Your
last stint
last
in jail.
time.
Okay,
Your last
my
time.
last stint in jail. My last stint in jail was 10 days in Nashville jail, and I was without dope, and I was in withdrawals. It was day 2. I'll tell you about day 2. My
Jesus.
kids knew not to come around on day 2. The devil wouldn't come around me on day 2. Okay. And so it was day 2. Me and Marty got into it. She's driving down the road and I started beating her up and she called the police and I spent 10 days in jail. and I now have a permanent domestic violence on my record.
Oh wow.
Yep, and it is flagged as causing it's causing bodily harm because I have a metal plate in my right hand, and
Gotcha.
I used my hand that had the metal plate in it, so they upgraded it to bodily harm.
Good thing those police officers didn't run you earlier.
But that was my last one, and that was 2010.
You know, that's what is sad. You know, as you're traveling through states, you just never know what kind of police officer you're going to get pulled over by. Because if
Yeah, and I mean,
you get pulled over by the wrong one, you're going to jail, even if your violation is not jail worthy. You know what I mean? Based on your
oh
history.
yeah. And I mean, when I got out of jail, Marty was so apologetic because she's the one that, she called the law, you know. And I told her, "No. You don't owe me an apology, for calling the law." And even now what, this is 15 years later, it still prevents me from getting jobs. And she'll feel so bad because she'll be like, "You're qualified for it." But, because of that. And I'm like, "Look, that was something I did. That is something that is on me. It's not on her. It's on me, you know." So, I mean, I never want anybody to think that, she was wrong for calling the police. She was driving an 18-wheeler. And it's like she told me, "I may have the right to take my life, but I don't have the right to beat her up driving an 80,000 pound vehicle in traffic in Nashville that could have killed somebody else's grandkids, just like I wouldn't want it done to my grandkids."
Right.
You know,
Damn,
and at that
Nina
time,
got some hands on her.
huh?
Nina got some hands.
Oh yeah, I do. I fight. I mean, and I fight. I mean, I fight. I mean, that most of the time, every time I've gone to jail has been assault.
Well, that's how it
Now,
usually happens.
domestic, what?
That's how it usually happens, you know?
I
They'll take you
mean,
to jail quick on a domestic issue.
I think I got my first assault charge, but I mean, I've always been a fighter. I mean, I got kicked out of school because of fighting. I've always been a fighter. I
Right,
mean,
right.
and that's not anything to be proud of, but when I went through my domestic violence, I think what happened was it was like, "I'm going to do it to you before you do it to me."
Right.
If it,
It's like
I
a
became the
react.
aggressor.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know what
And
it's like
so
to beat.
when I
I know
got
what it's like
clean,
to beat you. Yeah.
I had to, I don't think, try and think if I've been in a fight since I've been clean. Yeah, I have. Okay.
Don't incriminate yourself, damn it.
Well, no, I mean, that's just keeping it real. I mean, it's like,
Right.
I mean, eh, I don't fight for no reason. I mean, like, I think I told you about the day that I threw the pimp and the hooker off of the parking lot at the truck stop. And I mean, that really bothered me because he was sitting in the car. It's pouring down rain. It's freezing cold. And she's going from truck to truck in the rain. So I get out of the truck and I go over there and I just bang on his window. And I'm like, what's going on? "Oh, she's trying to get money from her ex-husband for child support. She don't know what color truck he drives. Why is she going truck to truck?" I said, "And why you sitting in the car all dry and everything, all warm?" I said, "So look, we both know what's going on. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to drive up there. You're going to put her in the car and you're both leaving. And you're going to turn the heat on when you do it." He said, "Yes, ma'am." He went and got her and they left. And I go back to the truck and Marty's like, "What the hell? What have I got myself into? Who are you?" I mean, I mean, but stuff like that, I mean, I guess I could end up getting myself hurt by taking up for other people quicker than I could be taking up for myself.
Right. That makes sense. It makes a lot of
But
sense.
now Nashville was just me on day 2 being a bitch.
I mean, since we're talking about recovery and we're talking about some of these stories, I want people to understand that, everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own journey. And sometimes it takes what it takes.
Right.
Sometimes it takes going to jail. Sometimes it takes you waking up and saying, "Hey, I've had enough." Some people have actually quit cold turkey and never went back. I
I
mean,
quit cold turkey.
that makes you wonder if they were truly that far gone, or if they were just that stubborn. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I can tell you. Wait a minute. Let me tell. Well, I'll just tell Tanel. I forgot I was live. Tanel came into my. I'm streaming it to my live,
Yeah.
and it says nobody's here. And I was going to put, but Tanel, you're here.
Hey, Tanel, long
But
time no see. Glad you're here with us.
I think the reason that I was able to quit cold turkey is because of my mentality of being done. And what I mean by that is, like, my first husband, when I walked away from him, I never turned back. When I'm done with you, I'm done. I won't turn back. You never exist to me. And to
You know,
me,
I wish I had that stubbornness like that, because I was like that when I was younger. When I became a therapist, for whatever reason, I started giving people the benefit of the doubt, and it totally messed me up. You know what I mean?
oh, now I'm loyal to a fault. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is I have the staying power, and I'll stay and I'll stay and I'll stay. And I'll tell you every day of your life, I will stay. But I'm telling you, there's going to come a day when I'm done. You know, and I think that's what happened with meth was I was done. It was like breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
I was just done with it. It wasn't doing anything for me. I wasn't getting anything out of it. I was just spending the money, chasing a high I was never going to get. And I finally realized that I'm just done with it. And I think that's the only reason that I was able to quit cold turkey is the mentality of MOON is done, and that's from my
Right.
son. That's a
Right.
different story. But, you know, MOON spells done.
Right. I understand that, Tanel. I understand that. Well, it's good that you told me that. I respect that wholeheartedly. But I've known that you thought he's innocent, and that's perfectly fine. I appreciate your honesty, though. Hope one day we can meet in the middle again. You can subscribe back, because I'm not really talking about him much anymore. So hopefully you still enjoyed the channel enough to for other things. But I'm happy
And
to
I,
see
I,
you.
I totally back that up. I mean, because that's how I am. I'm going, my channel's going in different directions. You know, I mean, when I do my trip to Idaho, I think that will probably be the finality for me.
Yeah, I mean, because like tonight, we're talking about something that's real. And it's interesting. We've been talking for an hour and a half now, and it feels like we've been talking about 20 minutes. And, it's not something that we're making up. It's just, a lifeline that we've lived along that many people never really get to hear unless they go into those rooms. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
We're,
And
we're
I mean,
having a
sometimes
meeting.
I get,
We're having a meeting between both of us, because we're sharing our strengths, hopes, and experiences.
sometimes, it scares me that I'm too transparent and too open about it.
Right.
But to me, that's the only way to be. I can tell you the good about it, the evil about it, the medium about it. I can tell you every aspect of being an addict. I can tell
Well,
you
let
the
me
losses you endure, everything.
well let me ask you the
But
$1 million question, Nina.
okay,
What do you love about sobriety? If you were to sum it up in one answer, one sentence, one word, whatever, what
I
is
love me.
sobriety? Huh?
I love me.
Okay.
I didn't love me when I was getting high.
Okay.
And now with being clean, I respect myself. I had to have that drug to feel like I was the person I wanted to be. And now I can sit out here in Comfort, Texas at a truck stop for 2 days with my dogs and not be scared, not to have to be high, not have to have that fake comfort or that fake I guess the armor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can sit out here and I can be vulnerable about it. I can be truthful about it. And I can lock my doors and I can lay my head down if my dogs will let me. To where
You know,
used to
I
if
want you to know, I want you to know something, Nina. Real talk here. If I didn't have training this weekend, if I wasn't going to Lubbock, my ass would have drove to Comfort right after work today, and I would have helped you with your tires, would have helped you get back on the road. And I've thought about just driving down tomorrow, but I have so much stuff to do between now and Sunday when I'm taking off. It's just a very busy weekend, and I hate that you're down there, without what you need. I mean, I hope that you find a way to get what you need. Um, if I knew anybody that was close there to you, I'd send them to assist you. But I don't know anybody that's close enough to where you're at to help you out. But one thing I'm pretty certain is you're going to figure it out and you're going to get out of there. And if you're still there by next weekend, my ass will be down there to help you. I promise you
I'll be out of here tomorrow.
that.
What happens with the reason why is because I made incentives and bonus with my deliveries and they will come in at midnight tonight.
Okay.
So it just caught me, because you knew I got fired.
So, yeah.
So but that's
But
okay, I'm door dashing.
that would have pissed me off if I would have drove all that way and there's no Nina at the truck stop. I mean, it would been
Well, no, I would have told you I was leaving.
it's like there's only so many loves on I-10. I've probably counted all of them. I've been that way multitudes of time on my way to
Yeah.
Florida. I
No,
know.
no. As soon as I've got free roadside assistance. So here's what I'm thinking about doing. Let me see. Let me run this by you. Here's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about getting a tire delivered from Walmart, and then I have free roadside that will put it on for me.
Yeah,
It's because if not, I'm gonna have to pay I'm gonna have to pay somebody for the tire and the road call. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I thought I would talk to the manager at Love's and see if I could have my tire delivered here. I mean, they know me pretty good right now. I've been here
Shit, they might offer you a job behind the counter. You want to work? There's a lot of
well,
people
I'm
that don't
actually,
want to work.
I, I think right now is the most worried I've been because I'm down to 33 miles to empty, which means I have to turn the air conditioner off.
Yeah,
So, but I mean, it's almost midnight, so I'm not really worried,
yeah,
so, but no, I knew that if I could make it until midnight tonight, believe me, if I hadn't had some kind of hope, y'all would have seen a really, really, come on, y'all put 50 cents a piece together. I mean, I mean,
right,
if,
right.
but no, with the way I was working, I made my incentives and everything. And so they come in on my pay card at midnight.
Good.
And so I'll get a tire, but I am going to be honest. I'm going to work my ass off and I'm probably spending the night in a motel tomorrow night. I've got to
Uh,
have a shower and I've got to be just 5 feet away from these dogs.
I understand that. I understand that.
I have been in this car since what? Yes, was it yesterday? Yeah. Man, it's only been 2 days. No, Wednesday. I
You
spent the
know,
night here last night.
I broke down in that damn town too. I don't know what it is, but
Well,
I broke
you
down.
come through welfare. You come through welfare, and then
Yeah,
you get to Comfort.
I know exactly where you're at. I broke up. You're probably heading west. I was heading
Yeah,
east, the other side. Well, there's an Exxon station not far from that, Loves, on the other side, and I stopped to get gas. And I went in to pay. I came back out, went to crank up the truck, nothing. My battery
right.
was couldn't get it to jump over, nothing like that. So I had to walk all the way to Walmart, which was
Oh
probably
my
about
gosh.
4.5 miles or more. I walked all the way to Walmart, bought a battery, bought some tools because I didn't have my toolbox with me at that point. Lugged all that stuff all the way back, changed the battery out,
Wow.
headed
Okay,
on my
now
way.
here's what's funny, Gage, is the air is still in the tire. Did you see the picture? Okay, it's the outer layer that came off.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
but
mean,
the air is the tire is still aired up.
if you have a blowout, that's going to be
Oh yeah, there ain't
dead.
no way I was going to drive it.
Yeah, that's going to be
I mean,
deadly,
because when you do, it goes blah 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 blah.
yeah, especially at 80 miles an hour on I-10.
Yeah,
Come on.
and that's the thing about it is God blessed me because what happened was about two exits up. It said boom. I thought, oh my God, no, I've had a blowout. And God blessed me and let me get here because the air did not go out. You saw the other one that blew out, the wires and everything came
Yeah.
out. There was no gimping that one, you know. But as close as I was to here, I was able to gimp it here.
So what? That two new tires now?
Honey, this is my third blowout.
Okay, so you almost got a brand new set,
I almost
right?
got a new. That's what I said when I get this one tomorrow. Now look, my donut has been on here since Louisiana 2 weeks ago. So I knew I was really, pushing it. So I
Right.
can't complain because a donut's only supposed to go like what, 50 miles,
Hmm.
and mine's been on here 2 weeks ago in Louisiana. We had our first blowout, and it's
Wow.
back there in the back. And then last weekend, I say we because of me and my dogs. They're like, they hear it now, and they're like, oh damn.
Yeah, you sounded pretty pissed off or annoyed because you said of all the places to come stand, you're standing in front of my car while I'm doing a live, making my dogs bark.
You heard that, huh?
Yeah, I did. You sounded just like me when I talk to myself in situations.
Look, no, 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 no. There was a guy.
That's what I'm saying. I talk to them out loud but
Yeah.
not where they can hear it. Like, come on, bro. Of all
No,
the
I said it to him.
freaking what did he
No,
say?
I opened my door and said it to him.
What did he say?
He left. He stood right in front of my car with my dogs raising hell and just stood there on his phone. Bitch, please. I opened my door and you heard what I said to him.
You said, really? I'm on a live, and of all the fucking places you could have stood, you stood in front of my car. Sounds like something I
I
would have
mean,
said.
I'm serious. Oh, I was mad
I could hear it. I could hear it.
because there was no calming my dogs down. If somebody gets within 10 feet of my big black one, my Great Pyrenees, she will eat you up if you get near me.
Well, I mean, now I see why you could sleep in comfort. Them dogs ain't gonna let nobody get near that car.
Hell no.
Waking you up.
No. And the thing about it is, I'm not a badass or nothing, but I'll tell you off in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Especially if you're wrong. That was just rude.
What is rude? It's
I
like
mean,
being
if
in
you
a
if
movie
I was
theater and there's an empty movie theater and someone comes and sits right next to you.
Exactly. The thing about it is if I'm standing in front of a car and I hear two huge dogs just raising hell, I'm going to say, wow, I bet they're barking at me. Here's your sign. Can I move?
People are inconsiderate these days, Nina. They really
I'm
are. I mean,
serious.
they'll
I
bump
am
into
so
you, won't say,
serious.
excuse me. They won't do nothing. I mean, I went by, I was in the grocery store earlier and this guy was looking at something and I had to veer into the damn shelf to get around him. I said, excuse me. He still didn't move. I just kept going.
Exactly.
I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? These aisles are already narrow enough and you're taking up half of it, more than half. It's annoying. It's annoying. The etiquette that people don't have these days is
It's
profound.
really sad, really sad. And the thing about it is just like with that guy, he was so unaware of his surroundings because why? He was in that cell phone.
Yeah, that cell phone has people trapped. I mean, you can't blame the cell phone. They're making that choice, but at the same time, you know what? Don't you think burglars or not burglars, but people that want to do harm to people, they know that that cell phone's a distraction, and they got that ample time of surprise, just like that lady on that train. That was sad in so many ways, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I
the
mean,
cell phone, the cell
and that's
phone
the
is
thing about it is so many people can get took out just from not being aware of their surroundings.
exactly.
I mean, that's
I
like right
mean,
now, even me being on a live, I'm sitting in the front seat, I'm under a lot, and I am constantly looking around.
yeah, me too. I would be too. I don't know if you know where the Loves is at the state line between Texas and Louisiana, right there on the right hand side. I had driven from West Texas and we were heading to Florida, and I reached my limit at that one year, and me and my friend were there, and I said, I'm pulling over, dude. I cannot
Are you
drive
talking about
anymore.
Tallulah?
Yeah, that little town right there, right at the
Yeah,
state line.
Tallulah.
Well, I got there,
We got caught in a tornado there.
and there's a damn sign at the Love that says no parking, cars will be towed away or some shit. And my friend's like, they're gonna tow your shit away. I said, well, at least I'll still be in it asleep. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Hey, I hate to do this because I love being live, but Snooky is letting me know she's got to go.
That's fine. That's fine. We've been on almost 2 hours anyways. Thank you so much, Nina. You be safe out there.
Oh, I am, and believe me, there's a company. If I don't do the Walmart thing, there's actually a company that's 24 hours. So I may check with him, but like I said, I get my money at midnight. I'm hoping to be on the road at least by 9 a.m. But I will definitely put it in Discord and let y'all know.
Please do that. Also check that other tire before you, or have them check it before you
I
take
will.
off. All right.
I
You
will.
take
I
care.
will. And
You
thank
take
y'all
care of
so
yourself,
much.
Nina. Take care of
I
yourself,
will.
Nina.
And we're gonna make it to Idaho and make Murphy's Dog Park.
All right. You have a good
All right.
night
All right.
at a
I
dog
love y'all.
park. All right. Bye bye. All right. An interesting conversation with, I'd like to call her my friend at this point, Nina from Warning Label Nina. It's interesting that sometimes in life we pass through this third rock from the sun and we meet interesting people along the way, and we have such a connection that what we talk about we can just talk about for hours, and addiction is one of those things, because not only do I do that for a living, I'm also a recovering addict myself, so alcoholic. um but I hope you guys enjoyed that, and in no way If you're watching this on replay, is it making fun of anybody that's doing their addiction? Like I said, sometimes you got to laugh once you recover because the crying's all, um, you know, the crying is all but over. Now you can just laugh at the success that you made and the years that you have behind you, one moment at a time, one day at a time. So, y'all have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you soon. My name is 12 Gage. Maestro, cue that music.